Here we are with the Smith Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. This is in 380, a pocketable double stack firearm. We're going to shoot at our bottom left-hand target today. I am going to do two 10-round magazines. Here we go. First magazine through the firearm. Okay, surprisingly much more mild on the recoil than I expected. Certainly compared to the 327 Federal Magnum that we just shot. I am going to do our second magazine now. This is Blazer Aluminum 95 grain. Here we go. Okay. So far, after two magazines, I would say I am pleasantly surprised. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0 is a striker-fired micro series pistol chambered in 380 ACP, featuring many updates over the original Bodyguard 380, chief among them being the double stack magazine fed and moved to a striker-fired action over internal hammer-fired. The Bodyguard 2.0 is 5.5 inches long, 4 inches high, 0.88 inches wide, and weighs it at an almost atom weight, 9.8 ounces unloaded. It has 2 3/4 inch stainless steel barrel with a stainless steel slide and polymer frame. The slide has the Armor Knight finish. Compared to its main competitor, the LCP Max, the Bodyguard 2.0 is about 3/10 of an inch longer, but 12/10 of an inch shorter, 4/100 of an inch narrower, and an impressive 0.8 of an ounce lighter. As mentioned, the 2.0 version of the Bodyguard is striker fired. This gives it a consistent trigger pull that off my gauge comes in around 4-ish pounds. The break is not mushy, on the verge of being crisp with a good amount of tactile feedback. The length of the reset is fairly short, but there's little to no tactile feedback, meaning right now I just blow right past it. The grip on the Bodyguard 2.0 is long enough to get a 3-finger grip on the firearm without needing a pinky extension. The extension is nice, but it's also nice to not need it. In addition to being in a good comfort and concealment zone, the width of the grip is another area that is surprising on the Bodyguard 2.0. The firearm feels very narrow in the hand. There isn't much texture on the grip of the firearm. I suspect this may be due to the pocket or purse carry nature of the firearm and trying not to have the texture snag on things, but that's a big guess. I suspect at least some owners will end up adding grip tape. The stock sights on the firearm are True Glow night sights. The front sight is an orange dot with tritium center. The rear sight is an anti-glare U-notch sight. The sights may be adjustable for windage. So far, I find the sights to be easy to see and use, but for those who want something else, they are replaceable. Unlike the mild texture on the grip, the slide has what I'm calling aggressive forward and rear slide serrations. I suspect had the recoil spring demands been so aggressive, Smith & Wesson would have been less aggressive with their slide serrations here. The recoil spring on the Bodyguard is very stout. The crew and I agreed today that we thought someone with arthritic hands would find it very challenging, especially when the firearm is slippery. I find manipulating the slide on the firearm, to be quite challenging. For comparison's sake, I am going to do 10-round magazines with our LCP Max. Bottom left target. After the first 10, the Smith & Wesson has a significant lead as far as hits on the target. Let's see if the Ruger picks it up on the next 10. Here we go. It's not looking good for the Ruger. Speaking of recoil springs and recoil, with pocket 380s, the expectation is to have some snappy, bordering on unwieldy, recoiling pistol that probably shoots low and to the left. The Bodyguard 2.0 shatters the norm. The 2.0 entered the 380 arena in the pocket class size, but the recoil is bordering on black magic wizardry. It is not easy or security 380 light recoil, but it's surprising how close it is for the size. The crew and I brought along the LCP Max as a measuring stick today. Why not have the main competitor be right there from the start? At this point, it doesn't feel much like a contest. After the crew fired one magazine through the LCP Max today, they decided they were done with that firearm for the day. The Bodyguard, they continued to put magazines through for the rest of the morning. With the 2.0 version of the Bodyguard, it feels like Smith & Wesson made a point to attack the weaknesses of the LCP Max, the demanding recoil and beige feeling trigger. The LCP Max does have an easier to manipulate slide, but I think Smith & Wesson set up the more demanding recoil spring knowing that would be the case. The slide takes a little more gusto to work, but also enables it to absorb more recoil energy. Less recoil translates to sights getting back on target quicker and faster follow-up shots. Add in a little longer grip, and you have a firearm less prone to buck around in your hand along with that recoil. The nice enough striker fired trigger helps keep your shots consistent, helping with the precision of your groups. The LCP Max might be a little more demanding to shoot, have a trigger that's not quite as good, but it is reliable. My day one release LCP Max has never missed a beat. Some shots might miss the target, but that's a skill and technique issue more than a firearm issue. The only outstanding question after day one for this Bodyguard is reliability. How reliable is it? Will it hold up and keep performing after thousands and thousands of rounds? Okay, I guess that's technically two questions, but no need to split hairs. This is 10 rounds of Federal Punch, 85 grain, at our top target using the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. Okay. The Ruger doesn't stand a chance. I will let you do the next 10, but the Ruger, I can't come back from that. That seems like a good spot to start wrapping up one of the prettier packages we've seen as of late. As crazy as this will sound, Ruger fans should be encouraged by the performance of the Bodyguard 2.0 so far. For the last decade, Ruger has tried to champion the pocket pistol 380 class, and finally someone has put them on proper notice that they need to do more than just some ergonomic changes on a future version if they want to remain a serious contender at the top of the pocket pistol 380 pecking order. What are your thoughts on the Bodyguard 2.0 so far? Do you think it is as much of a game changer in the pocket pistol 380 class as we do? Let us know in the comments. As you can probably imagine, in the coming weeks, we will be doing a series of videos comparing the Bodyguard 2.0 against many of our favorite 380s. During that series, we'll take a more thorough look at the performance of the firearm and what features catch our eyes along the way. After day one, the crew and I were both extremely impressed by the performance of the Bodyguard 2.0. If reliability and durability match the rest of the package, SIG, Ruger, and the rest of the gang now have a ton of ground to make up in the pocket pistol 380 game. That seems like a good spot to end today's video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and share it with your friends and family. Those things don't cost you anything, but help us continue to be able to make more videos. If you'd like to really help us, consider becoming a member. If you didn't enjoy the video, let us know what you didn't like, or sleep tonight knowing Fred is judging you. Either way, I'm glad you made it this far. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good day. Fredericky the Corgi.